everybody and welcome back. So far today I have made a coffee and I have done part of my online course. However, why am I using make a coffee and do an online course? These two words can be very confusing to learners of English because in some other languages there is only one verb for these two verbs in English. So when and how can we use make and do in English? Well, in this video we are going to look at the best tips and categories for make and do in order for you to master these two verbs. In the middle of the video, we will also look at some of the collocations that can use both make and do, but they have different meanings. And finally, we will do a quiz towards the end of the video so you can test your knowledge. Remember, like always in English, there are exceptions to the rules, and we will look at some of these exceptions on the way. However, these rules work for the majority. Okay, let's make a start. Did you see what I did? Okay, let's start with make. There are some different categories that fall into make, but the most important thing to remember is most of these we are going to create something. Something new will come out of it. Keep this in mind when we look at the categories. The first category is things we can construct, build or create. Let's take a look at some examples. A sandcastle. I make a sandcastle. A rule. I make a rule. A greeting card. I make a greeting card for my mum's birthday. We also use make for food and drink when we are preparing the food and drink. For example, a coffee. I make a coffee. Dinner. I'm going to make dinner soon. Get out of the kitchen. A cake. I have to make a cake for Louise's birthday. Do you think she likes chocolate cake? Tea. I love to make tea in a teapot. So British. Make can also be used when we produce an action or a reaction from someone, as well as when we force somebody to do something. Let's take a look at some examples here. You make me happy. Onions make me cry. I made my daughter tidy her room, meaning I forced her to do it. My teacher made me study English grammar all week. Help me! Another category make can also be used for is to do with communication, speaking, noises. For example, a speech. John is making a speech at Laura's wedding. I hope he doesn't embarrass her. A phone call. 1 second, I just need to make a phone call and then I'll be with you. A promise. Karen made a promise to stop swearing in public. A comment. Daniel made a nice comment about my hair. Maybe he is into me. A noise. Children, stop making all that noise. A complaint. The customer just made a complaint. Apparently, there was a snail in his lettuce. Uh-oh. Another category is with plans and decisions. So anything where we have to think. For example, decision. You need to make a decision on which English exam you would like to take. An excuse. He made an excuse so he didn't have to go to the party. An appointment. I would like to make an appointment to see the dentist. Do you have any spaces? An arrangement. You need to make special arrangements if you cannot pick your child up from school. Also, anything to do with money typically takes make. For example, we make money. If you want to make money, you need to get a job. And investments. I'm going to start making investments. A bet. If you watch horse racing, you might make a bet in order to win some money. Profits. The company made 50% more profit on the previous year. A loss. The company made a 25% loss on last year. Uh-oh. Then, at the end, we have some random ones that kind of fit into the create category, but not into one of these other categories. So we have things like a mistake, make a mistake. Sorry, I made a mistake. Progress. I am proud of my students. They are making so much progress. A difference. That new light makes a huge difference. So that sums up make. Let's head over to do and see what categories do typically takes. The most important thing to remember with do is that do is normally with an action, a task. So think shopping. We are doing something. I do the shopping. A favour. Do me a favour, dear, and drop Hannah off at school. Your best or your worst. Do your best and you'll succeed. Do is also used when we look at work and tasks at work. For example, business. I do business with smaller companies. Work. I do work in the office. A task. I still have to do that task. Activity. Have you tried that activity with them? They might like it. Also, anything related to studying will also take do. For example, homework. I need to do my homework before tomorrow. A degree. I'm doing a law degree. An exam. I did my exam this morning. I think it went well. Also, anything relating to housework will also take do. Ironing. I hate doing the ironing. Ugh, it's the worst. Dusting. I do the dusting. Laundry. I do the laundry. Gardening. I do the gardening at the weekends. However, there is an exception. We make the bed. We don't do the bed. We make it. Do can also be used to talk more generally about an action and replace another verb. For example, hair. We could say, I brush or comb my hair, or we could say, I do my hair, more generally. The same with makeup. We could say, I apply my makeup, or we could say, I do my makeup. I do my makeup in the mornings. The same with dishes. I wash the dishes, or I do the dishes. So do can be used also to replace another verb when we are talking generally. Okay, so that's the end of do. However, we are now going to look at some interesting ones where both make and do exist, but they have slightly different meanings, or majorly different meanings, depending on which one we're looking at. Let's take a look first at time. If we make time for something, it means that we create time. For example, I need to make time in order to sit down and write that email. But if we do time, it means we spend time in prison. If somebody says he has done time, it means he has spent time in prison. Another collocation where you may hear make and do is with the meals, breakfast, lunch, dinner, for example. Typically, if we are preparing the food, we will use make. I am making breakfast. However, if somebody says, let's do lunch, it is more of an invitation to go and have lunch somewhere outside, usually more informally. The last one we're going to look at is work. If I do work, I am doing my job. But if I make work, I am creating work for someone else. For example, Luke makes a lot of work when he cooks because he uses all of the dishes, meaning afterwards someone has to clean up after him. So he is creating work for somebody else. So let's play a quiz. There will be 10 questions in total and you have to decide if the word I show you is make or do. Let's see how you get on. Number 1. Me laugh. Make me laugh. Number 2. Nothing. Do nothing. Number 3. An experiment. Do an experiment. Number 4. A suggestion. Make a suggestion. Number 5. Research. Do research. Number 6. Fortune. Make a fortune, meaning make a lot of money. Number 7. A mess. Make a mess. Number 8. A mistake. Make a mistake. Number 9. A course. Do a course. And the last one, number 10, a list. Make a list. Okay, how did you get on? Did you get them all correct? Let me know in the comments below. For your second activity, see if you can write some sentences in the comments below using make or do. I can't wait to read them. If you found this video useful, don't forget to click the thumbs up and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next week for our next video, and until then, bye for now!